Hello everyone, good morning to all. Welcome to the new session of our e-learning class. I am Rashmi Ranjan Mishra, lecturer of UN Autonomous College of Science and Technology. Today I am going to discuss on a subject regarding basic financial accounting. So on today we will discuss with you relating to trial balance and what are the various types of errors that are disclosed and not disclosed in trial balance. So let us come together, join with me and listen my video. If you are having any doubt, then you can give your comment in the YouTube comment section. So first we are going to discuss what you mean by trial balance. Trial balance is a statement of a balance remaining in each and every ledger account classified as to debit and credit entry balance. So a list of all the debit and credit balance taken from ledger is known as trial balance, or trial balance is a statement which shows all the balances of debit and credit taken out from the various ledger account. According to the principle of a double entry accounting system, the total of debit side should be equal to the total of credit side. So double entry system or dual aspect concept says that for every transaction there are two aspects. There must be one entry for recording debit, another for recording credit. At each time debit corresponds to credit and the total amount of a debit must equal to the credit. So in trial balance, when we prepare, we take into consideration the balances of all the accounts. So the total of a debit balance of all the accounts must equal to the total of credit balance. Trial balance, if both sides of the trial balance agree, it is an indication that at least the accounts prepared are arithmetically correct. That means when we prepare the trial balance, we say that at the end of the preparation of a trial balance, when the total of debit balances is equal to the total of credit balance, that signifies the arithmetical accuracy is updated. But in certain cases there are some positions are seen that the total of trial balance both debit and credit is not equal. So by the same principle it can be taken that a disagreement in trial balance is an indication. That means there are various types of errors in the accounts prepared. However, it should be noted that even an agreed trial balance is not a sure test of accuracy in the books of accounts. So when, or in certain cases when in trial balance it has been seen that the total of debit balance is not equal to the total of credit balance, it is an indication that there are some errors at the time of preparation of accounts. So what are the types of errors that shows at the time of preparation of accounts for which the trial balance is not agree? So this is known as the error in trial balance. So based upon that, the classification of error is divided into two parts. One is error that are not disclosed by trial balance. Second one is error that are disclosed by trial balance. So we will discuss these two types of errors one by one. So first we are going to discuss errors that are not disclosed by trial balance. Under this head there are 6 types of error. One is error of omission, second one is error of commission, third one is error of principle, the fourth one is compensating error, then the fifth one is error of original entry, and the sixth one is error of a complete reversal. We will discuss the 6 errors one by one with detailed example. So first we are going to discuss what is error of omission. These are the transactions that are completely omitted from the books of account. So omission means when at the time of preparation of a books of account any type of a transaction is completely omitted, that is not recorded either in case of a journal, so in that case, or in a separate ledger account, in that case that is not mismatched. That means that is a case of omission of entry or complete omission from the books of account. And the reason may be that at the time of entering the books of account, an invoice might have been misplaced, blown away, or duplicate copies were not made. So why that type of omission is made? Because at the time of recording the transaction in the books of account, maybe in certain cases there are invoices that may be misplaced or the duplicate copies of that invoice were not made. So in that case we omit that, and for which there is one type of error, but that is not disclosed. So there is one example, a sale of rupees 400 to Pinkol that has been completely omitted from the accounts. So when there is a case of a sale That means we must have to record that transaction in the books of account in the form of a journal entry, and the journal entry is Pinkol account debit to sales account, because goods sold to Pinkol. Pinkol is the receiver, being a personal account, Pinkol account must be debited, and sales account, that is credited, being it is one type of income. But this journal entry is not made in the books of account. So when that is not made, that is a type of omission. That means completely omitted at the time of recording this transaction in the books of original entry. So when that type of error is there, that is called as a error of omission, and in that case the balance sheet must agree or the trial balance agree, but that is a case of error of omission. So the wrong entry means there is no entry, that is completely omitted. So we must have to further record it. The second type of error, that is called as error of commission. This is where the amounts are entered on the right side of the account but on the wrong debtors or creditors account. So commission means we record it but there is some misplacing. That means either that is on the right side of the account but on the wrong debtors or wrong creditors. Why this type of error arises? This is due to similarity in names. So in certain cases there is the name of the different person being same. So instead of one name we have to record it another name. So that is a case of error of commission. There is one example, goods sold to B Bindra were wrongly entered in B Bunda's account. So there is some mismatch. That means there is one person, that is B Bindra, another person is B Bunda. Instead of B Bindra we have to record it, or we recorded it in B Bunda's account. So the amount is rupees 4,50,000. So when this type of mismatch is there, that means only there is a difference in Bindra and Bunda. So that type of error is called as a error of commission. Another example, a purchase of goods from C Lee has been posted to the credit side of a C Lies account in error. That means when there is a case of a goods purchased from certain person, that means the purchase account must be debited, the creditor's account must be credited. So when the goods purchased from C Lee, in that case the purchase account debit and C Lee account is credit. So as per that, the original entry is purchase account debit to C Lee account, that is 500. But instead of a C Lee, we record it, or wrong entry was that purchase account debit to C Lies account. So instead of a C Lee, the account credited to C Lie, and that is the error which is called as a error of commission. The next error, that is called as error of principle. These errors offended against a basic idea or principle of separating revenue from capital expenditure or income. Example, a calculator bought in business for use is entered in purchase account instead of office equipment account. So example that indicates that when a calculator purchase, we must have to record it in office equipment account, but instead of office equipment account we entered in purchase account. So that violates the principle. When one asset is or goods is purchased, in that case we must have to record it in purchase account, but as it is one type of office equipment, or calculator indicates one office equipment, we must have to record it office equipment account, but instead of that we record it in purchase account. So that violates the principle, that is called as error of principle. Office equipment purchased for rupees 1,000 in cash has been debited to office expenses account. The correct entry should be, when office equipment purchase, we must have to record it office equipment account, and the correct journal entry was office equipment account debit to cash account. But instead of that we record it in the form of a wrong entry as office expenses account debit to cash account. So that violates the principle, and that is called as error of principle. Next type of error, that is called as compensating error. This is where an error on the debit side of an account has been compensated by a similar error on the credit side of another account, in order to avoid the discrepancy or the overcasting or undercasting. Instead of recording on the debit side, we have to record it the similar amount on the credit side. So that's why that compensates the error, and that is called as a error of a compensation or compensating error. There is one example. The purchase account was undercast by rupees 2,200. That means that is lowered by 2,200, and the sales account was also undercast by rupees 2,200. So this is one type of error which is called as a error of compensation or a compensating error. Purchase account that is undercast by 2200. So instead of that, when that type of error is there, in order to avoid that error, we compensate that similar amount by undercasting the sales account, and that is called as a error of compensation. So the correct journal entry, purchase account debit to sales account. We have to record it in purchase account. So purchase account must be debit. We debit it to purchase, or purchase account debit rupees 2200, sales account credit that is 2200. So purchase and sales account undercast by 2200, now that is corrected. Then the next error, that is error of original entry. This is made in the books of a prime entry and carry forward to the ledger account. When at the time of recording in the books of original entry, this type of error when it is made and that carry forward to ledger account, that is called as error in original entry. So for that, there is one example. A payment of rupees 1200 to a creditor Tushar Patel has been entered as both side debit as well as credit as rupees 1000. So instead of 1200, we record it in both side of the debit and credit. Debit that is 1000 and credit 1000. So there will be no problem. In that case, the error will not be disclosed, but that is one error. That means instead of 1200, we record it as 1000, and the correct entry, the original entry was Tushar Patel account debit 1200 to bank account 1200, but the wrong entry which was made, Tushar Patel account debit, that is 1000 to bank account 1000. Instead of 1200, we record it as 1000. Both debit and credit, that signifies 1200, but here wrong entry is made. The entry account debit and credit, it is right, but the amount debit and credit, that is wrong. Instead of 1200, we record it as a 1000 debit as well as 1000 credit. The last one is, that is complete reversal of entries. This is where correct amounts are entered on the wrong side of each account. So when correct amount that is entered but on the wrong side of each account, that is called as a complete reversal of entries. For that, there is one example. The purchase of goods on credit from Chintan for rupees 6000 was entered on the debit side of Chintan's account and the credit side of a purchase account. So for that, the wrong entry which was made, that is Chintan account debit to purchase account. Purchase goods on credit from Chintan, that means purchase account debit to Chintan account, but instead of that, we record it as Chintan account debit to purchase account. That reversal entry is made. So we have to rectify that and make the correct entry as purchase account debit to Chintan account. So when this type of a transaction is made, that is not affect at the time of a preparation of a trial balance, but that is one error, we must have to rectify it. Then the second error, that is error that are disclosed by trial balance. So what are that various types of error which are disclosed at the time of a preparation of a trial balance? Now we will discuss each and every one by one. That is errors of a calculation, making errors in arithmetic. So at the time of making calculation, when there is mathematical calculation mistake is there or making error in arithmetic, in that case that is disclosed. The second one is error of omission of one entry or recording only half an entry, such as debit without corresponding credit or vice versa. That means credit without corresponding debit. One account debit but another account credit, that is omitted. So in that case, that is disclosed, because as per dual aspect concept, debit must equal to credit. Where there is debit, corresponding credit must be there. But if that is not there, that is disclosed by trial balance. The third one is posting to the wrong side of an account. That means one example is there, recording both entries on the same side, such as two debit instead of a debit and a credit. There must be two accounts that is debited, but instead of that, one is debit, another one is credit. So that is one type of a mistake, and that is disclosed by trial balance. The next one is errors in amount, such as recording one or more amount incorrectly. So when at the time of making the journal entry or making ledger account, instead of recording the amount properly, we have to record it one or more account incorrectly. In that case, that type of error is also disclosed at the time of a preparation of a trial balance. Then the next one is suspense account. When the trial balance does not agree, the amount of a difference must be entered in suspense account. So when any type of error is there, at that time the total of a debit balance and credit balance is not tally, and in that case the difference is put under the head of a suspense account. So this is one example. The total trial balance extracted, the debit balance is 90 and the credit balance, that is 100. So there is a mismatch, that total of a debit balance is not equal to credit balance. The difference amount is rupees 10. So that difference 10 rupees is put under the head of a suspense account, and now the trial balance agree. Next we are going to discuss objectives of a trial balance. There are various objectives of a trial balance. The first one is to ascertain the arithmetical accuracy of the ledger accounts. Second, to help in locating errors. Third, to help in preparation of a final account. So now we are going to discuss the various objectives in detail. The first one is to ascertain the arithmetical accuracy of the ledger accounts. As we know, trial balance is a statement of balances of all the accounts taken from ledger. So only to check the arithmetical accuracy of various ledger accounts we prepare the trial balance. So as has been stated earlier, if the sum of the debit and credit column of the trial balance tally, then in that case that proves the arithmetical accuracy of the ledger accounts. Individual ledger accounts are also accurate since the following errors in the ledger accounts are not revealed by the trial balance. So when the balances of all the accounts in trial balance tally, that means the total of debit balance equal to total of credit balance, in that case we say that there is a arithmetical accuracy, or the total balance equal with each other, and in that case the errors that are not revealed at the time of preparing the trial balance. Posting of a transaction is in wrong column, posting of a correct amount but to wrong account, wrong entry in the ledger, omission of an entry in the ledger. So when this type of error is there, in that case there may be trial balance not agree, and in order to avoid that problem we always try to equal the total of debit column with the total of credit column. So such errors can be avoided only by exercising due care and caution while recording the transaction. So when any of the errors are there, in that case proper precautions has been taken into consideration, and when that precautions or due care and caution will be taken, in that case the various errors that can be avoided. The second one is to help in locating errors. When there are large number of posting in a ledger and the trial balance does not tally, the following steps are required. That means in case of posting that from journal to ledger, in that case when the trial balance not agree, that means the balance of all the ledger accounts taken at the preparation of a trial balance and a trial balance does not tally, the following or various steps are taken into consideration. The first one is to recheck the tally of debit and credit. Again we have to check it or recheck it whether there is some mistake from our side or not. That means the tally of debit and credit should be taken into consideration. The second one is to recheck the trial balance item with the ledger, whether the ledger account balance or the account is not transferred from journal to ledger, that has to be rechecked. Then rechecking the total of ledger accounts and their balancing, we must have to check various ledger accounts and their balance amount. Then find out the difference that may be due to omission of an entry either on debit or on credit side. If there is any type of omission made for entering the amount of either in debit side or credit side, in that case we must have to take into consideration and we must have to find out that difference. The third objective is to help in the preparation of a final account. Trial balance is prepared only for final account preparation, or for preparing the final account, trial balance must have to be taken into consideration. The trial balance that contains the list of all the ledger accounts with their debit and credit balance. So while preparing the final statement or financial statement, or it is called as final account, there is no need to refer to the ledger account. That means when trial balance completely prepared or the total of debit equals to the total of credit, in that case there is no need of a ledger account at the time of a preparation of a final account. Financial statement that can be easily prepared from a tallied trial balance. So where there is a tallied trial balance, that means the debit balance equal to the credit balance, in that case final account statement can be easily prepared. Trading account, profit and loss account that can also be prepared from revenue and expenses account appearing in the trial balance. So in trial balance there are various types of revenue as well as expenses account, and that revenue and expense account should be considered at the time of preparing final account, which is trading account, profit and loss account, as well as also balance sheet. Various assets, liabilities and capital should also be considered, and that will be taken from the trial balance. The next part, that is preparation of a trial balance. How trial balance can be prepared, or what are the various methods of preparing the trial balance. The trial balance is prepared by any one of the following method or one of the following. There may be the balance method, or there may be the total method, or total and a balance method. The first one is balance method. In this method, all the ledger accounts are first balanced. This is done immediately after posting of an original entry to the ledger. So balance method signifies that all the balances of the ledger account should be considered, and that balance should be taken into consideration at the time of preparing the trial balance. That means one ledger account shows either debit balance or credit balance. So that balance should be transferred to the trial balance on the respective side. If one ledger account shows debit balance, then that should be transferred to the debit balance of the trial balance column. If that shows credit balance, then that means that is transferred to the credit balance of the trial balance. So the debit and credit side of each ledger account is totaled. The balance are then recorded on the credit or debit side of the trial balance. So in order to find out the balance of a particular ledger account, we must have to total both sides of that particular ledger account. That means we have to total the debit as well as credit of the respective ledger account. Then after totaling the debit and credit, find out that difference and put that difference on the lesser side, either by writing as to balance carried down or by balance carried down. And an account shows the higher side is that balance. That means if one ledger account debit side higher, that shows debit balance. If one account credit side higher, that shows credit balance, and only that balance should be transferred at the time of preparing trial balance under balance method. If the grant of a total of debit and credit balance tally, then that is, in that case there will be no problem. The trial balance is prepared on a loose sheet having 3 columns. The first column that gives the name of the account, then the second column and the third column that shows the amount of a debit and a amount of a credit. This shows in this following format. The particulars column shows the various types or the name of the account, and the balance, either one is debit balance, second one is credit balance. One account shows only one balance, and that balance should be taken into consideration. The second method, that is total amount method. In this method, the total on debit side of every ledger account is entered on the debit column, and the total of credit side of each ledger account will be put on the credit column of the trial balance. That means we have to add the total of debit as well as the total of credit of the respective ledger account, and the debit total should be put to the trial balance debit column, and the credit total should be put to the trial balance credit total column. A grant of a total both debit and credit side is then taken into consideration. In case the grant total of both sides tally, it indicates arithmetical accuracy. That means when the total of a debit column equals to the total of credit columns, that means in every respect the ledger account shows true and fair, and the trial balance shows the or indicates the arithmetical accuracy of the books of a account. So this is our today's discussion relating to trial balance and what are the various types of error that are disclosed and not disclosed at the time of a preparation of a trial balance, and when the trial balance is not tally, how we put that difference amount under the suspense account. So let us, you hope all students have clear about my today's class. If you are having any doubt, then you can give your comment in the YouTube comment section. Thank you. Have a good day to all of you.